Hello, hello. Welcome to Inhale, Exhale, Feel Good Programming for Queers of Color. My name is Danah Alam, and I am your host. And Inhale, Exhale is curated by Ronnie DeVerlis and produced by Across Boundaries. Before we get started with today's session, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, as well as the many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples that this territory is now home to. We also acknowledge that Tkaronto, now commonly known as Toronto, is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. This land has been inhabited for millennia and is bound by the Dish with One Spoon Treaty. Then and now, it remains a meeting place for many nations. So today, we have Vogue dance class with Danah Rosales. Danah Rosales, she, her, sha, is a Tkaronto-based queer millennial, second-generation Canadian-Filipinx, a daughter, a dawta, a sister, a sis with a C, a mother of two little humans, a mother of a kiki house, and an artist in which her work encompasses teaching, collaborative, and interdisciplinary choreography and performance. So without much further ado, let's welcome Danah Rosales. Hi, it's so good to see you.
Hi, Tanvir. How are you? Good to
I
see
am well. How are you?
I'm great. I'm excited to be here and to share what has been passed down to me.
Yes,
Ah.
let's get into it. Okay.
Yeah. So today we'll be doing a little introduction to Vogue, and it's included in the blurb. Just a really short history of where voguing comes from and its birth from the ballroom community and the ballroom scene in New York around the time of 1960s, 1970s. And the dance form was birthed by the queer and trans, Black and Latinx community. So ballroom has migrated over to Canada, and I have learned the form and have been integrated and invited into the community by my house parents and queer siblings. And I'm just excited to share. Voguing is a freestyle dance, and it is a heightened performance of self, a celebration of identity. It's to just feel the music, indulge, and get a little get into yourself, and to feel the music, and to feel everything. So we'll be doing I want to say like a an elements warm up, but we'll pause and start as we go along because voguing is a freestyle and there's many different elements. And so just to give a little brief summary of it all. So voguing started off as mainly like the foundation of posing. Yes, posing to the beat of the music. And then it started to turn into old way, where there was elements that became more defined as time went on. So there would be like the catwalk in old way, duck walk, a certain style of dips, other elements, and then there's also new way, which is more for the stretchy girls and taking those shapes and poses and really contorting them and adding in some arms control. And and then now we have this subgenre of Vogue called Vogue Femme that has been created by the femme queens of the scene, and taking all of these poses and shapes and old way and new way and really um, curving them out and making it more sensual, more feeling, more emoting. And we'll be touching on that style more focusing on that style today. So as we go along, I will just lead and guide, and I would say just listen to your body, trust what your body's doing. When in doubt, just breathe into it and sit in that hip. And just feel fabulous and feel good about where you are, who you are, what we're doing, and enjoy the music. um, So yeah, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna start some music. Okay, so right now we're gonna be in the frame so you can see yourself, just waist up. And in ballroom, there's different categories. There's performance, which is a lot of voguing, and then there's also the category face and the category runway. I like to draw from those categories because it really helps enhance the understanding and the physicality of voguing and the freestyling of it all and getting into yourself. So with face, the elements are the eyes, the nose, the skin, the teeth, and the structure. I personally don't walk face yet in the kiki scene, but I'm practicing. But I find that, bringing attention to your face and your structure will get you in the mood of voguing very easily. And especially when there's music behind all of it, we get to feel it. So as you look at yourself in the mirror or in your camera, I would like you to try, thinking about your hands and bringing it to your face. How do you frame your face? How do you bring attention to your eyes? Looking right into the camera. Imagine you're taking your photo. Bringing attention to your nose bridge. The skin. How soft is your skin? How are you going to use your hands? Use the space to bring attention to your skin. I'm trying a perfume commercial or something, Neutrogena. No, I shouldn't do any products. The teeth, show off that smile. And the structure, so the structure of your face, your jawline, your cheekbones. Right, so really start feeling and just creating frames and creating that atmosphere around your face. As if you're doing a little portrait, you could use your hands to elaborate and accentuate your face. Right, so let's start from the back. We're going to start with just covering our faces and slowly revealing your face. Remembering your eyes, the nose, the teeth, the skin, and the structure. And really finding the light so that your skin can reflect, the light can reflect off your skin. So let's all do this together. And really just indulge in the beauty of your face. The eyes, the nose, the skin, the teeth. Anything you want. And the structure. Yes. Let me see those cheekbones. Flash me that smile. Yes. Pull back that hair. Show us the structure. Profile. Find the light. Nice. And hold that close to me. So now that we did a little bit of a warm up with our face, we can bring attention to what we're going to do with our posing now. So with your posing, you have obviously your body, you have your upper half and your lower half. So whatever we did with our hands, you could even structure it even more. So that's the posing itself. But what are we doing with our legs and our arms? So for me, I like to do sometimes a bevel where you take a front foot, use that hip, let's get into the left hip, and then maybe that right ankle to the other end. Hands on your hips. That's always a really great go-to for a pose. Bringing your foot out to the side, bringing it in a two slide, bringing some personality in the poses, yeah? Other side, double, reset, change the hand. Yeah. So here are some things that you can do. Your upper body, You have lines to play with, flexing and bending the wrist. Really posing for a picture, yeah? Imagining that you have something super expensive on, your favorite fashion label. Your body drips in jewelry. The shoes that you're wearing, the gown, the vêtement. If you're wearing a coat, how are you modeling it? How are you selling it to us? You know? Posing any way that you want. Just feeling it. Bringing it down to the ground if you like, and don't forget about your face. Yeah. So we have some things that we can do with our feet, our lower half, our bevel, a little point out to the side, a little T-stance, hands on your hips with your hands if you want. You could add shapes, what we were doing with face, add that into combination with the feet. Changing different directions, different angles. Right now we're going through the music, which is fine. Just to find different forms of architecture and making sure that there's energy coming out through the top of your head, all the way down to the toes of your feet. We can start playing with levels. So, excuse me. We hear the beat. The relationship to music is very, very important. So feeling the downbeat. 5, 6, 7, 8. Every 8, we're going to change poses and really sit in that pose and just feel like pools of light, like the sun rays are just shining down upon you. Like, really feel it. Really feel it. Every 8 counts, we're going to switch. Yeah? Up to you. Whatever poses that you want to do, but making sure that you're feeling fabulous in what you're doing. Add some personality, some emotion to your face, and you're starting to move. Yeah? Let me hear the beat. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2. Switch. 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 Let's change every 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, switch. 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 Period. Okay, work. So, posing, let me pause the music for a second. So what we were just doing was freestyling the posing. If that was a little bit challenging, that is good. If it was a little bit uncomfortable, that is okay. Because freestyling is a place where it's uncomfortable, but it's good to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. So, not knowing where to go next, but you know what? Even if it's just a shift of weight, that's a whole new pose. Even if it's just a change of focus, boom, a different pose. Boom, adding one thing after the other. Just making sure that you really register and feel that feeling and sit in it and feel that pose. So that's something to do to practice, especially in the mirror. If you like, or in the clubs, boom. Every 4 counts. Just keep going. Even though it feels like a little exhausting in the brain, like what am I gonna do next? Sometimes your body has something to do and has something to say before your mind does. So let your body lean into it and really go for it. Every 4 counts. It's a really great fun practice. And then, you could start posing up for your Instagram stories, for photo shoots, whatever you want. Okay, so now the next few things that we're going to do, we're just going to touch on, because the elements of Vogue Femme, there's a lot. So we're just going to really touch the tip of the iceberg for some of these. But again, with voguing in general, it is a freestyle dance. So if you're a beginner, I would practice just even doing the posing and feeling it and staying on beat every 8 counts, every 4 counts. If you're really excited, try every 2 counts. But yeah, so we'll go into the different elements. So in Vogue Femme, there are hands performance, catwalk, duck walk, floor performance, and spins and dips. So we will be just starting to set the foundations of what those elements are. So with hand performance, we kind of touch a bit on it with face, of how we can use it to bring attention to your face, your body. But now with hands, with hands as an element, we're going to start getting a little bit technical. So as you can see, like with Vogue Femme, it's about the break and the flex of the wrist. Yeah, so warming up those wrists in Vogue Femme, it's always going to be a flex or a break. Just know that. We have some taps. So if you take your one hand and tap different parts of your body, boom, your shoulders, and it's about how you tap yourself, how you present that tap. Again, you're using your hands to bring attention to what you're doing. So if you're bringing, I like to use my middle finger. I've been taught to use my middle finger to kind of accentuate where we're tapping, right? You could also use that middle finger to bring attention. Are you wearing long sleeve gloves to tell a story, right? I'm getting carried away. But taps, taps. You could tap your body, your hips, your shoulders, and then you could do tapping your body, but also tapping away from your body. There is the front space, side, up, and down. And again, with voguing, it is to the beat. So just for a simple exercise, let's do 3 taps on our body, anywhere, just one hand. And then on the 4th one, tap out somewhere. Yeah? With our feet, you could stand however you like. However, I would suggest, because with Vogue Femme, we have that element of femininity, the performance of femininity, and, this presentation, this heightened presentation of self. So if you want to start in a bevel, if you want to be in like a little tendu in second, if I must say, or a T stance, you choose one of the 3, and that'll be what your bottom half is doing. And then taking either hand and tapping. 3 taps and 1 out. And we're gonna just keep going with that. Again, it's a freestyle. You just choose where you want to tap and present it that way. Ready? 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and tap, 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 out. Other hand. And then you start playing different things. Tap, 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 tap. That's some fun for some taps. As you can see, I was starting to do some rolls in my wrist. That's another part of hand performance. There's taps, there's wrist rolls. I like to go in. You can also do out. And so the play with the circle of the wrist, you can add with the tap. Yeah? So for yourself, just try to find the wrist roll. You could try it with your one hand, you try it with your other hand, and staying on that beat. Tap, tap, roll. Tap, tap, roll. I'm gonna let you find it for yourself, where you can do wrist rolls. You could do it in the air, you could do it on your shoulders, you could do it out here, you could do it in front. And then now, as you see, we're gonna start going into figure 8. That's a little bit more advanced, but if you wanna get into that, it all starts with the figure 8 of the hand. So drawing that figure 8. Flex, break. Flex, break. Flex, break. Flex, flex, break. Flex, break. Flex, break. And then you can do both hands. Flex, break. Flex, and break. I know this one's tricky. This one's tricky. Message me on Instagram. We're gonna break it down. But with taps and wrist rolls, you could get into figure 8. You could get into more rolls. But use your hands to tell a story. You know, there's a lot of pantomiming. If you want to show off your long hair, if you want to braid it up, if you want to put on makeup, tell a story, right? I'm going to give that to you. If you want to tell me how your morning went with your hand, waking up, do it to the beat. Put on your shirt, brush your teeth, go into my closet. You can do many things. So I would encourage you to play with the storytelling with your hands. And also with hands, it's an element that's really important because you could also layer it on top of the other elements. So for example, we're going to start doing catwalks now. Again, this is just like a little taste test of all the elements and to introduce you to some of the foundations of Vogue dance. So with catwalk is a traveling element. And you want to be light on your toes. So we're going to go onto your toes. We're going to bend your knees. We're going to have this posture that's arched and sitting in that vertical seat. And we're going to be bouncing in those hips. We're going to be shifting in those hips. Yeah? So we're going to just have our hands on our hips or on our waist in the meantime. And we're going to be bending in our knees and our weight on our toes. Yeah? So step to the right, we're lifting up this hip and also the illusion of sitting in that hip. Other side, we're going to switch to that hip. Boom. Boom. And boom. I'm going to come back. So everybody on your toes, come down, weight on the balls of your feet. We're going to go right foot. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Nice. And imagine that you have some sort of bodycon dress or skirt that's holding, your lower half snug and snatched together so that there isn't much negative space in between the steps. We're not catwalking like this. It's very on your toes, like a cat. Yeah? Into the hips. So we're gonna try 1, 2, 3, 4. Single counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Here we go. And left. left, left. Anywhere in the space. And right, left, right, left, left. Nice, nice. And then when we start getting those catwalks in and we start being coordinated with the music, it can come and evolve with the hands on top of the catwalk. So I'll show you a little bit. Okay, moving on to the next element. It's quick. The duck walk. We're going to just bounce. You hear the downbeat? Bounce, 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 bounce. This is going to be a little bit hard for a lot of y'all, but it's okay. So take it easy, listen to your body. But again, we want to be riding that beat. So engage your core, engage your glutes. This helps me have your hands up here. I'm going to go sideways. We're going to be looking in this kind of frame, kind of maybe that and back. On the downbeat. Keep that chest up, that back arch. Woo, the balancing act. Bounce. Ready? Here comes the step. Right, left, right, left. How y'all doing? On the downbeat. Duck, walk, duck, walk. And there's the tiniest kick. But it's just bringing it in. Bringing that foot in when you bounce. And in. Here we go. Ready? Woo! Down. There's a moment where we are up in the bounce. That's where the foot comes up a little bit. There's a little bit of an air moment. Yeah? Woo! Stretch that out, shake it out, shake it out. So we touched on hands, catwalk, duck walk. Floor performance. This is where we get to play with the floor. Do some floor poses, do some leg swings. Really feel it on the floor. And that's more of a freestyle. So let's try doing some poses. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the floor. Yeah, just a little bit. So you can be sitting, sit, leg up, pose, 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 pose. Ah, pose. Nice. Boom. So floor performance, you can do essentially anything you would like to do. But let's go into some swing on the floor. Just to get some movement in there. You do a little fan. Go to sitting. Pose, pose, pose. You can start getting on your hands and knees. This is where on the floor I like to add in hair whips. It gets a little bit more complicated when it gets into that. But essentially, anything on the floor, you can bring it back to dawta. All these elements we would like to transition in and out of them to create your performance. Now we're gonna get into spins and dips, but let's go into the dip first and see how that feels. So now that we've been on the floor, we kind of got acquainted with the floor. Let's sit in somewhat of like, I don't know if this can help anybody, but fourth position in a sense. But let's see what we're doing, what we're working with here. So sitting on your bum, having your right leg bend on the outside and tuck that foot in with the ankle. You can see. Yeah? We're going to be sitting in this position just for now. We're going to have our left leg just slightly bent. We're going to be extended and arched in our back. And as if you're doing high jump, like in track and field, think there's a bar right behind your upper rib back. This is a very basic dip. There are many sorts of dips, but this one is a very basic one that we can try ourselves. We're going to be using our hands to take the weight as we go down. What we're going to do in this dip is maintain the arch all the way through, and the dip is the cherry on top of the performance. It is the punctuation, it is the exclamation mark, it is how you finish that freestyle. And that's how you do that. So just keep that in mind. Depending on the beat, it will happen on the crash, and sometimes the crash happens on the 8 or the 1. But let's get this here. So arching from the lower back, all the way up to the chest, chin all the way up, you're looking towards the back mirror, you have your hands on the ground, and you're slowly letting your hands bring you down, and stay in that arch. And bring that up. Try the other side. Again, making sure that ankle, if it can be, ankle is released, kind of tucked in. Some people, depending, might find it helpful if the foot is flexed. So find what's right for your body. And don't overdo it if you're feeling some tightness. So arching that back, all the way up. Using your hands, opening up that shoulder, and upper back. Coming down into the dip. And coming up. Yes? How to go from standing to floor. This is how I can lay on me. Lay on me. You have to be there, taught me how to go into the dip. So if you're up on your tippy toes, from standing to a dip, you're going to come down. Shift that weight onto the left. Bring that dipping leg down. Release that ankle. Sitting on the inside. Once you're bumping to the ground, really get that arch going. Dip. Nice. And then in 8 counts, this is what it looks like. Yeah? I'm just trying to make it. Nice. I like this beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ready? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. And then however you want to transition your dip into some floor performance, it's up to you. And coming up. For those who are feeling a little spinny and wanting to get into a whirlwind, we can find ways to turn this dip into a spin. So if you turn it, and then that foot, bring it down, go into the dip. You can also bring one foot across. This is kind of like a corkscrew dip. And just unwind. As you go down, whichever knee hits the ground first, in this case the right one, bring it down into the dip. So you got some options there. I'll let you play around with that. I'm gonna very lightly string all of these elements together, and we'll see how that feels. We're gonna start off with 2 sets of 8, so 16 counts of hands. We're gonna go into catwalks, 16 counts, duck walks, 16 counts. But we'll merge that into a dip. We're gonna come up, go into our dip from standing, go into dip on the 8, and then finish off with some floor performance, and then hold that pose for me. You ready to do it with me? Let's do it. Also, this is a very loose structure. Things might change, but it's good to know the structure of counts. We'll try it. I'm gonna put the music a little bit louder. Okay, let's rev up. 5, 6 with your hands. 5, 6, 7, and. Catwalk. Duck walk. Dip. 5, 6, 7, 8, and roll forward. And hold that pose for me. How did y'all do? Was it a lot? Because it is. Yeah. So
That
that's
was amazing.
Thanks.
You're killing it out there, Danah.
Thank you. I try.
Oh, you try and you deliver. Try is not where it stops, my friend.
I love how I was like, we're just gonna do some easy poses, and now it's like boom, 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 boom. But honestly, with ballroom and Vogue, through my experience, it really is just jump and dive in and let it lead you and pull you, and you find yourself in it, and it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, and thank you so much for working us through all the parts of the body and just the detailing of all of it. It was so what a great fundamentals sharing.
Thank you. It's a lot. So whatever you catch, hold it with respect and reverence, because it is a form that is created by a certain community, and the best we can do is to hold it with respect and understanding and pay credit where it's due.
Absolutely. Could not have said that better. Thank you so much, Danah.
No problem.
And
Thank
I
you
hope
for
we see
having
you
me.
soon.
Yes,
Absolutely.
please support the local kiki scene, the Toronto Kiki Ballroom Alliance. You can find them on Instagram, or if you follow me, I always repost what the scene is doing here. We have a kiki scene and a mainstream scene. There's a lot of balls happening, and you get to see more of the categories and the ballroom girls doing their thing, and it's just so gorgeous and beautiful to see it in real context in real time, and it's an energy like no other. So, thank you.
Amazing.
Hope to see y'all around at the balls. Don't be afraid to say hi.
Absolutely. Thanks, Danah. Thank you, everyone, for coming and watching Inhale, Exhale. Once again, I am your host, Danah Rosales, and we will see you soon.